The following review was written and presented by a depressed unemployed millennial with little to no online platform experience or presence. Enjoy.
I enrolled, paid $180 to access Ninja's 30-day masterclass on becoming a streamer so you wouldn't have to. Should you, an aspiring streamer, content creator, what have you, take Ninja's masterclass on becoming a streamer? The short answer is no. No, you shouldn't. The long answer is, if you already have access to masterclass content and you're already a semi-established content creator and you want some tips for the late game, yeah, go for it. Now that 60% of you have clicked off, the remaining 40% are welcome to stick around to find out why I would not recommend Ninja's masterclass on becoming a streamer. To preface, this is not a jab at Ninja Tyler Blevins whatsoever. This is a critique from a moderately experienced novice's perspective. This is an amateur's review of his collaboration with Masterclass. What I will be sharing my opinion on as far as an actual review is concerned... What I will be sharing my opinion on as far as an actual review is concerned will be what I experienced myself as a budding content creator, to whom this Masterclass is marketed towards. I feel like I'm in a unique position to offer my opinion on a course designed to help newbies get started. I have been an unsuccessful, aspiring content creator with little to no presence on any platform for a little over a year now. My partner and I decided to start a YouTube channel back in early 2020 for reasons.
Look, we have not been out of our house in 6 months.
We've had how many COVID scares?
I don't know, I get
20!
Neither of us had any experience at all when it came to whatever hardware or software was needed to pull this kind of thing off, or any know-how on how to set it all up. It took hours of research to determine the kind of computer specs outside of a laptop, hardware recommendations, and how to stay on an affordable budget, all while being able to put out acceptable quality content and stay within our means. It took about 2 months to get everything together that we needed to build a budget streaming PC. We spent a fair amount of time tweaking the video capture, audio capture, game capture, microphone, lights. I say this just to let you know that I have some previous knowledge of what was needed as far as hardware and software was concerned before taking this masterclass. About halfway through 2022, I started seeing ads for masterclass featuring Ninja. I had heard of Ninja and I knew of his success. To me, masterclass came off as very professional, educational, and designed for anyone looking to significantly better themselves in any particular area of learning. I also saw Gordon Ramsay, one of the most successful chefs in the world, had a class, so, you know, it's Gordon Ramsay. Gordon fucking Ramsay. That was enough for me. So, good on you, Masterclass Marketing Department. After deliberating it for over a month, I pulled the trigger and paid for the course. Now, maybe I misread the fine print somewhere. I probably did. But it was way more expensive than I thought I saw it advertised. It's advertised as being broken down to $15 a month, but it's a lump sum of a minimum $180, which if you divide by 12 comes out to 15 or math. Shame on you, Masterclass Marketing Department. I wanted to be able to access the course on more than one device and also be able to download any of that information to reference later. So I paid $240 for dual access to the streaming course and others. Considering I was 32, about to be 33, just finished school, quit my job to finish school, and was in between jobs, this felt like the perfect opportunity to try and establish myself doing something I would enjoy while potentially making a passive income from it. Needless to say, expectations of what I thought I'd be learning from the course and the potential for success were just a little high. Just a little high. I'm going to briefly go over what the course sections or activity sessions and how useful I found each section. I'm also going to be touching on the community and teacher's assistants or TAs, as they like to call themselves. They play an important part as to why I'm taking the time to do this review in the first place. In the first activity, Ninja introduces himself and goes over his credentials and his success, much how like I introduced myself and went over my credentials and unsuccess. He goes over some terminology involved in streaming, which if you have no clue will definitely come in handy. You even get a neat little PDF terminology PDF to reference, even though you'll probably need a lot more moving forward. Moving along to my first raised eyebrow of the course, which I feel is the most important component of how to start someone out doing this kind of thing, is your setup. Like I touched on before, like me, you may be on a limited budget as to what you can spend to start this kind of endeavor. Not only that, but you may have little to no experience. You'll probably need an in-depth instruction guide to get this going. Most importantly, a PC to stream from, possibly play from. They provide PDFs that have tiers of a setup, tiers based on your budget, but they don't seem to really be for anyone who's working on any kind of budget. I don't know how much you make at your job that led you to want to be a streamer, but the setup tiers have no depth and they're hardly for anyone working on a budget. A lot of the item links are copied and pasted between the 3 tiers, so you're going to see a few that are the same thing, and they're Amazon affiliate links. So a more in-depth guide that I used to get everything that I needed, including the PC tower from the motherboard all the way to the monitor, was done by Harris Heller of Alpha Gaming, now Senpai Gaming. I'll put a link to it in the description below. You may also need a capture card, whether that be internal in your actual PC tower or external if you want to stream from console. Either way, you're going to need more information provided in this first activity to set that up and get it working properly. A good portion of content creators like myself utilize a camera to capture real-time reactions to what they're doing, playing, or saying. You may need a cam link to get that to work right, and you may need to configure your open broadcast software to work with that correctly. And this doesn't even mention the importance of the microphone you're using or how you use it, which I would argue is the second most important component of this kind of content, besides being a semi-functional Homo sapien. For a detailed guide on setting up budget mics and even which one to buy, the Video Nerd did a tutorial that I used to get this fee fine. $35 fee fine. I know it probably sounds like it. This is what a tweaked $35 microphone can sound like. There are definitely worse options. This section also includes another PDF with the most vaguest of walkthroughs of setting up OBS, open broadcast software. That's what you use to manage your stream or your content. Regardless of which software you choose, it requires a little more than just downloading it and plugging your camera and your microphone into it to get it to work the way you want it to. In Activity 2, our first assignment is to post a picture of our setup. This is just in the second activity out of I don't know how many, 6 technically, and they already expect you to have everything you need and to take a picture of it and post it so you can get feedback on it in like a week. It took me like 2 months to get all this crap together. And if I didn't already have a camera, my wife's camera, plus like having the money to afford all this at once like that, the point of posting the picture was so we can get feedback from our colleagues and the teacher's assistants. The course has a community message board to comment on each other's work corresponding to each assignment. Participation was obviously supposed to be a big aspect of this, which makes total sense. Constructive criticism, feedback. There were a handful of students at the same point in the coursework that I was, and I saw them actively posting. These comment sections also provided a space for interaction with the TAs. This sounds like a great tool for growth, if properly utilized. This brings me to my next raised eyebrow of the review. Participant and TA feedback. As I mentioned earlier, the first assignment was to post a picture of our stream setup. Luckily, I had everything I needed from working on a previous channel, so I was able to get everything up and running like on day one. I was excited to post a picture of my setup because I'd never actually gotten feedback on it before. Look at this guy. Look at him. Look, he's so excited. Look at the optimism. I noticed the TAs were actively commenting on some other posts, so I anticipated some constructive criticism. And I got nothing. Nada. No feedback from anyone. I commented on several colleagues' work, but got nothing in response. Alright, it's fine. It's just the first assignment, first couple of days of doing this, and I don't know how frequently the TAs check all of this stuff or how they're even notified that someone's active on it, so alright, fine. First assignment, fine, whatever. Activity 3 is about stream style and routine. You need to find your online persona. The cliff notes for this section: make yourself stand out. At this point in the activity, we were expected to already have done a couple of live streams, like little tests, post links to them, and then also engage in other students' links and streams and stuff. You know, comment, like, whatever. You know, and give and take some feedback. More than 2 weeks in, I had about 6 posts, either with pictures and or links to clips from streams on YouTube or Twitch. Not one comment. 6 posts in 2 weeks. Absolute crickets. Nothing. I don't know what I was doing wrong. I saw other people posting stuff and they were getting all kinds of attention. On to Ninja's gameplay tips. In summation, get good. Seriously though, his advice here is pretty valid. You know, learn the game that you want to play, learn the game that you want to use to entertain and actually stream, get decent at it, watch other people play, and excel at the thing that you want to make content on. Just like anything else in this life, practice until you can do it well. He puts emphasis on cosmetics. Spicy. Stuff like props and your appearance, which is perfect if you're anything like me and your personality is found to be lacking. I actually wrote that. This kind of ties into what I got on about, you know, as far as lighting and microphone and camera, you know, how you present yourself. If you're just starting out and your personality isn't shining yet, at least you can confidently look and maybe even sound like you know what the hell you're doing. A more thoughtful perspective on finding your online persona was done by vidIQ starting in 2022. Link to that down below. As far as specifics on channel customization, there's absolutely nothing here. You might want to explore more aesthetics and really make your content an extension of yourself as you figure things out. You want to learn more about that? There's some great content by Sam Woodhall. He talks about OBS plugins, thumbnail ideas, all kinds of cool customizations. Links to recommended videos will be in the description. Activity 4. You may not have the personality for this, which is why you need constructive criticism and feedback. Listen to it. Embrace it. Don't sacrifice who you are, though. Just grow. Coming to the end of the assignments regarding actual content creation, about 2/3 through the course, I have now made 7 posts to the community, including 4 live streams. No feedback. Nothing. I'm seeing TA comments and student comments on other people's stuff. I don't know what it is about mine that people didn't want to interact with. I know this is going to come across like me being a little crybaby, but it's really more so that I just wanted anything. I really just wanted like some feedback. I wanted some constructive criticism. Like hopefully the comment section of this video will be. Be gentle. Although to be fair, the TA comments on these posts were generic, bland, and void of any real criticism, input, or advice, so I wasn't really missing out all that much. The next tips Ninja offers are on engaging with your audience, if you have an audience. There's really nothing more substantial on getting that audience in the first place, other than utilizing posts on multiple social media platforms, because now to get any kind of traction you have to have an Instagram, a Twitter, a Grindr, a YouTube, a Twitch. Tips on moderating chat. I have no chat. Building a brand and collaborations. This is one of the only other sections with any remotely constructive content. Unfortunately, most of it won't be of any use to anyone who's just starting out. It starts off with Ninja being very honest and letting us know that it took him 8 to 9 years to get to the peak of his success. He gives us a really good breakdown on how to be professional and honest, especially regarding promoters, brand deals, and collaborations. Although he does it on a platform which is becoming more apparent by the day, should stick to teaching people how to cook like a chef and writing poetry instead of online content creation. Ninja reiterates the importance of social media presence on multiple platforms to promote yourself, which I guess is sound advice for anyone starting out. Put your feelers out there and see which one works the best for you. Overall, this section is sound advice for anyone who's already kind of established as an entertainer, content creator. As a beginner though, I have no following, I have no presence, I have no viewers. So what does this do for me? Remind me to rewatch these sections in, 8 to 12 months. Maybe. I'll make a sacrifice in the name of the algorithm. This whole section of advice did seem a little out of place in a course that's designed to get you to a certain point within 30 days, especially any advice regarding revenue. I'm definitely not one of those content creators that is being written a check in the first 30 days. It was around that time that I finally saw a sign of life from one of my classmates. 2 weeks after the post, someone was kind enough to click on my link, watch my clip, and give me feedback on it. Thank you. You know who you are. The last tips and assignment, taking a clip from one of your live streams and sharing it with the class. Little to no instruction on how to do that outside of Twitch though. I had to look up how to take a clip. As of the recording of this video, to make a clip from one of your Twitch streams, you must tell Twitch to temporarily save a recording of your stream. You must manually select Store Past Broadcasts in the stream section under Settings. Twitch will not automatically save anything you do live. You need to tell it to do that. As for making YouTube shorts and clips like that for socials, I used a tutorial by Justin Brown of Primal Video, link in description. You can also use Streamladder to convert your clips into a suitable format for Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts and TikTok and all that crap. There's a nice little walkthrough by Maddie Gorm. Activity 6. I'm not going to give this section any more attention than it deserves. It was basically just, no one told you they're proud of you today. Ninja proud of you. Imagine me with blue hair and shit. That's it. That was the whole last section. It was just Ninja congratulating you on making it all the way through. Some reviewers did the entire course in one day, but Ninja's proud of you. On the second to last day, I decided to request a refund. On that day, I had finally gotten a comment from a TA on the clip that I posted. And you guessed it, super insightful. Out of overwhelming disappointment, I forgot to take a screenshot of the comment. But to paraphrase, based on your expression, it looks like something happened in your clip. But what? And what is cheese? Some people may not be familiar with that phrase. That same day, I decided to put their 30-day money-back guarantee to the test. I received an email with an invoice for a full refund within like 5 minutes. 10 out of 10 customer service. They didn't even hesitate. They probably get that a lot. I really shouldn't complain about getting my money back so easily for something these days, but f*** them. All of the content creators I've cited throughout this video are experienced, established content creators who are willing to provide substantial information for nothing more than the cost of a like, comment, and maybe a subscription. They have memberships and Patreons if it's within your means to support them personally. For little to no cost, the community that you may want to be a part of offers significantly more information than this masterclass. I really do want to emphasize again that this is not a jab at Ninja. He's obviously worked really hard and put a lot of time in to get to where he is and to even get to this point in making this course. However, this is a shallow, bare bones course with a minimum $180 price tag. And the camera overheated. With a minimum $180 price tag put together by Masterclass that Tyler Ninja Blevins co-signed. If you want to take a more qualified word for it, there are other reviews floating around out there, way better reviews. For a more in-depth review from an actual Twitch partner, you can check out Finest IRL's review, link down below. All the original content in this video has been an amalgamation of what I've learned from several content creators over several months, several tutorials, and a lot of trial and error. I will continue to be a work in progress until I get to a point that I'm happy with what I put out. I'm sure you can tell by the quality of this video and by the streams I've uploaded that I'm still very much a student. If I didn't already have some previous knowledge of what was required as far as like hardware and software to start streaming or produce any kind of content, there is no way someone who has never done any kind of streaming or content creation before would have been able to use this masterclass by itself, let alone in 30 days. Also, this is advertised as approachable for beginners at all difficulty levels. You can die now, camera. I'm done with you.
In order to know how good you are at something requires almost exactly the same skills as it does to be good at it in the first place. So that if you're absolutely no good at something, you lack exactly the skills that you need to know you're no fucking